Dream Trading's live training. Welcome, everybody. I am Dawn, your host, aka J&J Video Reacts, and this is a stream that we use to train our members of our group, which is American Dream Trading, which was started by Chad Christian. He's a 34-year stock market vet, and he has traded in every market condition imaginable. He trains us how to do the same thing. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Coach. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get our screen share. Listen, if you want to join American Dream Trading, you can do so by going right over here to our website, which is located right there on the screen. And you can go ahead and get signed up with any one of our memberships. You can get a premium membership, which right now I believe is on sale for $500. You can get, you can actually join the live Zoom call that we are on right now. And we'll go ahead and have everybody chime in here in just a little bit. But you can go ahead and get signed up with that and go to our VIP Gold, several memberships that you can sign up for just by going to our website and get the training. That started with some training and trading today. Hold on one second. Why are you so low? Yeah. Yeah, that's some. Yeah, you're really low. Dream Trading's live. Yeah, I did. I shared audio. Let me double check it again, though. I'm pretty sure I did, but hold on one second. What? What? Ah, okay.
YouTube. Appreciate y'all.
That should be it, right?
It should be. Yeah, it should be it.
Yep, you're on TikTok now. I can hear you.
Okay,
Cool.
sweet. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome again. So let's do a quick market recap. We've already done our hot stock picks for VIP pre-markets. We've also done our IPOs. We've done our pre-market levels, which I can give you a couple if you trade at home with us on the free side of things. But let's just do our quick market recap. I mean, it's not never quick, but for yesterday, Monday, Stocks rebounded, major indexes higher. So Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped roughly about 500 points. That's about equivalent to 1%. It's best opening day performance in nearly 2 weeks. So we know we have the S&P 500, the NASDAQ composite also climbed about 0.5 to 0.6%. And then gains came after manufacturing data beat expectations, signaling continued expansion in U.S. factories. Key drivers, U.S. manufacturing, January's Institute for Supply Management, ISM, also known as Manufacturing Index, showed expansion at the fastest pace in over 3 years, which boosted the economic confidence and equities. Sector rotation, leadership shifted somewhat towards industrial, consumer staples, and select tech, like storage and AI-related names. Tech and earnings, positive earnings or guidance from certain tech and industrial companies supported sentiment, and then broader earnings release continued to influence trading. Volatility in commodities and crypto. So precious metals, we always talk about this every day because we know that it somewhat can affect the market as well. So silver and gold saw dramatic price swings and ended lower after strong rallies, triggering margin calls and weighted on sentiment. And then, of course, our crypto section or sector, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency remain volatile and under pressure, influencing retail and tech-linked stocks. Energy and other markets, crude oil prices fell as geopolitical tensions eased and diplomatic talks. U.S. and Iran hinted at, shouldn't have used that word, but it's okay, hinted at stability, which also reduced inflation fear prema. All right, so themes or macro themes, markets are digesting expected policy changes with the new Fed leadership. Of course, the nomination Kevin Warsh and shifting rate cut expectations, which has influenced yields, the dollar, and risk assets. In the pre-market today, Tuesday, February 2026, futures and sentiment. U.S. futures started mixed to slightly lower early pre-market, reflecting caution ahead of key data, including jobs figures and continued earnings flow. Pre-market movers and earnings focused. Earnings watch companies like PayPal, PYPL, are trading pre-market on outlook and results anticipation. And some individual names, energy or tech firms like CleanSpark are highlighted early on potential pre-market action ahead of earnings. Corporate headlines impacting pre-market. Market participants are reacting to corporate news like Oracle planning significant capital raises and debt issuances aimed at cloud and AI expansion. Tech and AI related developments remaining thematic undercurrent influencing sentiment in futures and sector rotation. And of course, what's ahead of this week? Markets are positioned for data heavy week that could set the tone for February, including JOLTS job openings. We'll go over the economic calendar here shortly. Service, PMI, and ISM service data, ADP employment and initial jobless claims, and non-farm payrolls later in the week. Big volatility potential. Overall market mood, bullish but cautious. Again, do not hold a bias. Anything could happen. Market could shit the bed, and then you get caught, with your thumb somewhere. Stocks rebounded with strong data and trade optimism, but volatility in commodities and crypto, along with macro uncertainty, Fed policy shifts, employment data ahead, keep traders on alerts. All right, so that was that. Now we're going to go ahead and flip over to our economic calendar on TradingView. As we know, typically on Wednesdays and Fridays are the heaviest in economic calendar. But today is a little bit on the lighter side, but there is one metric that is going to be important that will be at 10 o'clock, which is also shift change, where we see a burst or a boost in volume come in. 6 o'clock this morning, we had Logistics Manager Index 59.6. Prior was 54.2. 8 o'clock, we had Fed speech. And then 8:55, the Red Book year over year, 6.7 actual. Prior was 7.1. If you don't know what these numbers mean and what signal is good for the market and what signal is bad, you can always sign up for a membership here at American Dream Trading. Join us. We go over this on the daily, and also we had a workshop class on the economic calendar. So at 10 o'clock, we have the JOLTS job openings and 47 minutes and 44 seconds. Forecasted was 7.2 million. Prior was 7.146 million. And of course, the 10:10, we have the economic optimism index, and then 4:30 market will be closed by then, but also crude oil stock changes. All right. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to my main man, Richard. I call them Taco Bell Tuesdays. Today is Tuesday. Grab yourself a little chalupa and you'll make Richard happy. Richard, over to you.
Very happy. So if you're asking yourself, why do we take the time to go over the economic news when we're just looking at stocks, and if they're going up, we want them to go up? Well, it's because it can truly impact your decision on where to start and play the day. So for example, today, again, as Bruno said, JOLTS is the main economic forecast, and that is actually two things. It's job openings and labor turnover. And so that is the key at shift change. However, sometimes the best news to look at is what happened prior. If you had looked at the future Sunday night, you would have seen that gold, silver, everything was crashing and dropping down, and the economic news had a lot of fear in it. It was dropping down. But there was a news event yesterday that we talked about called the manufacturing numbers that came out. And the manufacturing numbers, if you looked at the result of those manufacturing numbers, it was the first positive manufacturing number in a year. We had like 11 straight months of negative manufacturing. And what we mean by that is those numbers come out as giving a basis of, let's think of the number 50. And if the number is above 50, the economy is expanding and growing. And if it is below 50, it is contracting and slowing. And of course, when it's contracting, people are losing jobs, etc. So reviewing that, the ISM manufacturing number came out at 57.1 from December 47.4. That is huge. We went from contraction for 11 straight months to positive production in the manufacturing. So what does that mean to us as traders? It means the transports. Look at the transports, because the transports popped yesterday. And when you're thinking about, if you look at UPS, if you look at FedEx, if you look at the things that are involved in transports, they all were popping and going strong, and they've been actually giving hints for a little while. Well, you don't want to be chasing necessarily those areas right now, but one of the things that you may want to start looking at is the airlines, because people don't realize the airlines actually are involved in a lot of transport. Not specifically for me, it would be Delta Airlines or United Airlines, but you want to watch the transport. You might look at the railroads. There's one railroad that is trying to merge with another railroad, which would be big, but sometimes those get messy and tied up. But watch the transports, because that was such a strong move. That explains why everything that dropped and looked like bad news is actually wrong. It's actually good news. The economy, it was a big win for the economy, very strong. Watch the growth. That's it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Richard. And we're going to call that the recap of Richard, the RR recap with Richard. All right. So
do we pronounce that
red rum? Memberships. You could always sign up. American Dream Trading. You can figure out the rest of that. I don't want to say the, DOTCOM. But if you head over to our website, you could sign up for a free membership. We'll get you in the door. You will need a Discord. I'll spend a little bit of time talking about this. We got at least 14 minutes till the market opens. But there are multiple systems we use here at American Dream Trading, whether it's the Zoom call, whether it's WAP.com, whether it's American Dream Trading. I already said the .com. We also have Discord. So you need to be able to be versed in Discord. If you can learn it, great. If you can, it does take some time to get adjusted to it. We do have, again, multiple systems. So most of the conversations take place over on our Discord. and connecting that Discord seems to be always a challenge for people. All you need is one Discord account. That's all you need. If you start opening up multiple ones, then you run into problems because you have all these different Discord accounts and you don't know which one's which. Same thing applies with emails. I'm probably never gonna stop talking about this because it still happens today, even though we've been using WAP for at least 2 years now, 2 to 3, almost 2 years, over 2 years. So just use one email. We all know that you have a bunch of emails and we're all super important people. We got business emails, personal emails, kids emails, all the emails. Just use one, create one profile. If you see that there's a problem, you've created more than one, I would probably pause, go back, remove one of those profiles. That way you don't get all jammed up. But when you sign up, QR code is on the screen. If you scan that, join us. That will get you in the door and be able to talk at least with us in our traders lounge. That is the free section. We have tons and tons of free education. I've been around the block. I've seen others discords. I've seen other companies that do similar services like we provide. And I could tell you that probably in our free section, we got more free education than probably anybody out there that I've seen so far. I haven't come across any others that offer that type of free content. So come over, see what we're all about. Also remember that when you don't have a paid membership, you're going to be limited to the amount of channels you can see on our Discord. And when you sign up for a membership, more channels start to unlock. Then that goes our entry level position here. Our entry level membership is a premium membership for $125 a month. We also have a promo running with the OG lifetime, OG premium pricing, I should say, not lifetime. $500 for the first year. Normally that's $1,250. That is very cheap. That will get you at least one full year. Also, we have the 2 years for $750. And of course, you can double that $1,250 and you can see the value there, $750 for 2 years. Once you get signed up for that, it will renew every year after that for $500 per year. That will lock you in, grandfather you in. We also have the Diamond Lifetime Membership for $5,000. That will get you access to everything we have, including the kitchen sink, minus the one-on-ones and the a la carte items that are not included. So this is on any renewal or recurring membership. So that's premium, VIP, VIP gold, futures VIP, gold. We talked about gold, crypto as well. So that gets you access to all of the trading that we have going on, whether it's futures, crypto, stocks, and options. The stocks and options side is premium, VIP gold, and diamond. That will get you access to the stocks and options. I don't think we mentioned that enough, but just so in case anybody's confused on what level of membership, if I want to just trade stocks and options, where do I go? Which one do I sign up for? Just remember it starts at premium and then it makes its way up to diamond. Eventually, diamond will go away. We had some members reach out. They know tax season's coming. They're waiting for their tax returns to invest in themselves. So diamond has been just extended slightly because of that. And we've had a bunch of people reaching out, and that's the God's honest truth. They really want to take advantage of that diamond, and they're just waiting on getting paid the extra income that they're going to bring in to pay for that diamond. And they do want to invest in themselves. They believe in the program. They believe in what we do here. And just throw out the disclaimer: American Dream Trading or anyone associated with us are not licensed to give out financial, investing, and tax advice. Everything we do here is for education and training purposes only. Please use your stops, and also please paper trade when you're learning a skill. Okay, we don't want to be using real money. This is not a casino. We do not YOLO. We do not throw call outs. Throw call outs out there and just see what sticks and throw a bunch of money at things and see what we can get out of it. All right. So always protect your capital, always protect your investments. And of course, we have rules that we live by here at American Dream Trading. 1 to 3% loss per day on your account. If you have 2 red trading days in a row, stop using real money. You should be paper trading until you're comfortable. We have plenty of members that have joined us that do not have the itch to use that real money, and they have been paper trading. Of course, others have kind of ventured off and they've started to, get really good at what they're doing. But until then, when you're learning a new skill and learning why invest and why have skin in the game, at some point, once you kind of graduate yourself from paper trading, then you want to do small position sizes. You want to do small options, or if you're doing shares, you should start with shares only. And then as you progress and graduate from shares and you go into options, you should always minimize your losses and keep your position sizes small, and making sure that your premium costs are lower, because there's risk involved, right? There's risk in anything we do in the stock market. It's not just, hugs and kisses and rainbows and butterflies and all the things. We got to make sure that we're protecting ourselves at all costs. I can't tell you how many times that I am aware of, that people think that this is a casino, that they come in here and then just want to listen to a call out. They come in 9:30 when the market opens. They go right into the first thing that they see, and they drop a bunch of money on it, and they're just waiting for that cash cow to come. But eventually they figure out that the cash cow doesn't come, because the people that have been doing this for so long are doing this constantly, day in, day out. Screen time is everything. Charting, just giving it their all, and then finding success doing it. Okay, results are never guaranteed here at American Dream Trading. As always, nothing is ever guaranteed, and like I said, it's not an easy thing to do. I know sometimes Coach and all the other moderators make it look easy, and also some of our members make it look easy. But I promise you that they've invested the time into their education and learning a new skill. Up on the screen, you also see that we have Tradeify prop firm. We partner with them. We have a sign-up code ADT for that as well, if you trade futures. We are working on the back end to do something for a prop firm that does do stocks and options, but right now they just it hasn't been what we'd like it to see. It hasn't been what we want to see, and we're waiting for the updates to happen. And once we get that, then we'll kind of start to broadcast that as well. But unfortunately, right now, if it's not good enough for us, we're really not gonna just start shouting it out from the rooftops until then. All right, so we got about 6 minutes until the market opens. I'm gonna go ahead and flip back over to Webull, and then we use Webull here. You can use any broker that you wish. Just understand that we support Webull more than any other broker, but we do have people trading with other brokers like E-Trade and what are some of the other ones out there? Robinhood and Moomoo and all the things, and Thinkorswim and all the things. So right now on Apple, if you trade Apple, we have a pre-market level set out, 268.75 upside confirmation, looking for that 269. So the downside, 267.50 confirmation, 267.25. And say, Bruno, what is that? It's just a bunch of lines on your screen. These are key critical areas that David has determined to be a strong, we're looking for the strong breakout, either upside or downside. And we're looking for the price and candles to cross these levels and also hold above these levels. And then we can look to take a position depending if it's upside or downside. All right. So Apple had a nice little run up yesterday. So of course we anticipate, as always, Apple likes to do, take profit. So just, obviously if you do take a position after that breakout, if it goes to the upside, you always want to be cautious because Apple's just been on a tear lately. Richard, are you still with me here? I
Yes,
know
sir.
you are. I just got to step outside for 2 seconds. I'll be right back. And if you
No
could just
problem.
take it. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to take the screen. Just if you could just, literally, it's going to take me 30 seconds. I'll be right
No
back.
problem.
Yeah. Somebody's at my door. I'll be right back.
So again, watch today. Please, in the first half hour, we will have call outs. That's in just 4 minutes away. That will be telling people first 2-minute EWO, you'll hear terms that maybe you aren't aware of. Please, for the first half hour, we stay to specifics because that is the most volatile time of the market. And then after 10 o'clock, we then can open up questions and get other things answered. But you will hear people saying, "Oh, AMD is the first 2-minute EWO up." You'll hear different columns saying, "Oh, it's at the previous low, a previous high," and with American Dream Trading, you're taught how the mechanics work when certain positions open up to themselves. So again, listen, watch. The first step of any learning is to become aware. And then once you're aware of it, you'll start to see things that you never saw before. But then the next step is to learn the mechanics of what you do when you're aware of what is happening in the marketplace. It's a lot of fun and can make a lot of money in a short period of time. If you're thinking about a part-time job, I can tell you there's no better payer than this business if you have the patience and the desire to learn how to do it. It is a skill set, and yes, many people will be afraid and tell you not to do it, but many of those people are people who will make money off you if they do it themselves. And if I can do it, if anybody can do it, you can do it. It's just a matter of, are you willing to make the commitment to learn and move forward? And that's kind of it for the day. Don, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I'm back, Richard. But Dawn, yeah, you got anything? Don't these people know I got a show to run knocking on my door at this time? I got
I was like,
markets
would
to
you
crush.
order breakfast from DoorDash or something?
No, you know what it was? In the sidebar, I ordered some protein bars. They taste like crap. They had like beef
Oh,
talon in them.
ugh,
And I was like, what is this? And I'm like, no. And then I couldn't return them.
right.
So I just gave them away pretty much. So
Wow.
somebody came and picked it up. Yeah. What a waste of money. $18 a box. But
Oh, yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty. That's hefty.
it is what it is.
I would just tell my fiance, if I happen to have one at that time, that hey, you continue to spend at Costco, you're going to be eating these bars. Just the thought.
It was it was gross. It was covered in beef talon. It was so gross. I was like, let's go ahead and scratch this. I almost threw it out. Apple's having a nice little break here, but just remember what goes up in the pre-market, they're going to possibly take some profit, right? So, but again, this is a good example right here. This is what we call the break, but does it hold? That is the break. Did we have the hold just yet? So it's got a lot of momentum leading up. The 2-minute EWO. Let's see what we got. We have the second EWO to the upside, and market is open. Be careful, everybody. Apple's got a lot of energy right now. All right, Apple to the upside is now on a third EWO. I already missed that run, but I'm just going to give this a couple minutes. EWO to the upside. Clean call outs, clean, concise, to the point, get in and get off the mic. Anybody else sees
Amazon
anything?
first 2-minute green EWM.
Amazon first green, thank you. Look like the market is loving some kind of economic news, possibly, maybe.
Huge candle on IWM to the upside. It's got a big pullback down though, so big wick on the top of that candle. Be careful. If you're a new
Microsoft
trader,
polling watch. Go ahead, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Say Microsoft polling watch 418, where it's at right now.
Okay, I was just gonna say, if you're a new trader, if you're not versed in this, do not trade in the first half hour.
All right, Apple's making a nice little run here. There's $300. I'm gonna go ahead and sell 5. Get rid of that risk, right? Bring it down to 1,700 versus $3,000. On EWO plays, you got to let them kind of work. Once that initial pop happens, got to let it do its thing. VWAP did open up a lot higher, though. That's anticipated, of course, when the market opens up. VWAP, there will be a big adjustment. Nasty pullback. We always say this, right? Apple likes to run up in the pre-market or at the open and then pull right back down. So And now we are on back into our channel, which now I'm down 375, 390 on the last 5. I've locked in half of that profit. There we go. I'm waiting for this bounce here. Some would say you might even buy more or buy in, which can be a possibility, but it's a big risk, right? And just like that, we've recovered at 395, right? So this stuff like this can happen. So you have to stay patient. If you can't stomach a $300 loss, then maybe you're going into way too heavy, right? Somebody got spooked. They pulled it right back down. Buyer stepped in and said, wait a minute, we're not done with this just yet. All right, we're going to have ourselves a little retest here of that 270.33, which is high of day. I might look to shave one here if I can get back up there. Still got a lot of momentum. Momentum is there. I'll get rid of just one. I'm going to leave the other 4 alone.
That's yesterday's high of day also.
270.33.
Correct.
All right, so we might see some challenges here, right? So any chance I get, even if it's a short-lived EWO play, but if we're fighting with previous day highs, then we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna need some miracle, some chance, or some excitement here to get this above that previous day high. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, put in my stop.
Do not be surprised if there will be a strong segment of the investors that will be waiting for those JOLTS numbers at shift change.
All right, my stop is gonna be in play. So 25 minutes for Jolt job openings, by the way. Like I said, it's a game of patience, but just knowing when to say uncle is going to be key, right? This has still got upside momentum here. I'm gonna go ahead and just move my stop up to right around 220. And that's the one thing about an EWO. It's mostly just sitting patient. There's not much to talk through other than the fact that it's getting weaker and weaker for right now because it cannot regain that 270.33 just yet. But we're going to need this to break out here soon, right? So we're going to need a retest, strong retest to that 270.33 to keep up that momentum. If buyers get not, or they're not interested any longer keeping it that high, then sellers will take over. But still looking good right now. And not to mention, I also have 1-day expiration on this contract, so they expire tomorrow. So as the day progresses, if this doesn't do much, then we're going to feel the burn. We're going to feel the theta burn. It's just too choppy right now.
Watching Amazon, it did pop at the open, pulled all the way back to VWAP. Now it is struggling in a tight range. And this is one because Amazon is a transport. They deliver a lot of stuff.
For those of you playing IWM, just be patient. It's channeling right now. It's riding VWAP, so you don't want to be diddling in the middle and trying to force a trade. So just be patient and wait for it to choose a direction.
Looking for Apple to maintain either this channel or bounce here. If it does not, then I will be stopped out and I'll look for a downside play, but I will have my downside levels. So I'm back in the channel. So I don't want to be chopped up inside of a channel. So I want clear direction. I'm not going to just flip to puts right away. I'm going to sit patiently and wait and see what we got. But right now I'm still alive. Contract price is 249. Stop is set at 220. I'm not going to touch my stop. If this continues to pull back, that was a wicked red candle. Buyers got fatigued real fast and sellers have taken over. So 12 cents away from hitting my stop. There's a nice little nice little pull, or not pull, a nice little bounce on that candle. But we got to keep up this momentum or else we're going to be in deep doo-doo.
Palantir and Nvidia.
What do you got on?
On the downside, but I'm not sure.
Yep. Okay. Nvidia. Nice little continuation of an EWO. Very nice. Nvidia to the downside. Please don't chase, folks. If stocks have been having decent runs in either direction, not looking for a buy at the bottom of that run, right? Because you can find consolidation and support really fast and then you end up screwing yourself. So just be careful here. See how they pump the brakes on this? If it doesn't go any lower, you're going to be in hot doo-doo. So you hear a call out, don't just jump in head first. Wait for a
The Qs are also
retest.
pulling.
Thank you. Wait for a retest, or at least this have come back up to maybe challenge the 9 or the 21. But I know it's tempting. You see it to the downside, and sometimes you'll luck out and you'll get it. But if it stalls out, you're going to be in hot doo-doo. Okay. So I'm still alive on Apple. Found its support sooner than later. Back inside of that channel. Need to see it hit back above that 269 to regain that buyer confidence again. Let me go back. See what the Apple Whisperer is talking about. He's typing away. I see him. Since I am trading Apple over the channel and VWAP. Over the channel. Hold over the channel. 2-minute time frame. I'm all about the patterns, right? This can't break back above this. Need to see this break back above. Break this first. This little stall out here came up. Couldn't really, almost matched it. Got pushed right back down. So it needs to get over that hump, which happens to be where VWAP is positioned as well. Still alive, though. Still alive. The stop was a good stop, 220. We'll
It looks
see
like
if
Amazon might have found support at 242.88.
Amazon, yep, 242.88. I had a line drawn at 243, but close enough. Close enough. Remember, this is all considered chops. So for scalpers, this is amazing stuff. But for EWO riders, it's a little bit tougher to trade in EWO when you can't get a break and a clean break. The only one that really did that was NVIDIA for right now. I can look at the other ones. Soxel, SPY is somewhat flat, a little flat on SPY. Tesla, same thing in chop zone. IWM, still same thing in the chop zone. Google's to the downside. Google also had a nice little run. Ford is not doing much. And then Amazon is kind of inside of that channel. AMD, same thing to the downside. And then Apple pulled right back down inside of this channel. So confidence is not there, right? We see it. We see the confidence. Buyers are not really that confident in propping this back above that 267 on VWAP. Still alive though. Still alive. Waiting for a burst in volume. And you can also kind of get a feel of are they waiting for this shift change at 10 o'clock, which happens to be Jolt job openings as well, which is the highest thing on that list for an indicator for the economic calendar, I should say, not indicator. It's a possibility. Some stocks may be affected, others may not.
Tesla's on a double bottom.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Tesla's on a double bottom.
Tesla. Thank you. Yeah, Tesla's just trying to make up its mind. Choppy chop. So
We just hit a new 52-week high in the Dow.
on the Dow, thank you. SPY isn't really giving you much to work with. There's the pull. I'm stopped out on Apple. Now I will look, see if we can get a clean break of that channel to the downside, but I'm just going to have to wait. We're on the 200 on the 2 minute. We have the first 2 minute red EWO on Apple. Remember, it's not just the first one, looking for the momentum on the second, and also we want to break below the 200 on the 2 minute, and also the 267.50 and 267.25 to the downside. I don't want to get caught up in chop. I want a clear break, clear direction. We didn't get that.
Qs are continue to pull hard.
What is it? Sorry.
Qs.
The Qs.
Yeah, and that was a huge 1 minute candle on SPY too to the downside.
Thank you. So whole market is pulling back. Second red EWO on Apple. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm just getting positioned for it, correct? So I'm gonna wait here. I want to be set up. I don't want to miss the run. I want to be set up.
Palantir had earnings yesterday. Now they're pulling.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Palantir.
Palantir. Thank you. PLTR.
Yes.
Yep. Palantir is still to the downside.
Yeah, these candles are starting to flicker a little bit more now.
Yeah, Palantir, Nvidia, and AMD look exactly the same.
Tesla on that double bottom, who called it out before. Should be a payday for you if you caught the bounce. Just be careful. Market is still
It's right up one
back.
BWAP.
Yeah, market still
Micron is
pulling.
also pulling hard. Ticker MU.
Thank you. Micron is also steady to the downside.
Just an FYI, Palantir did report earnings and they were good. However, Palantir has pulled back significantly. So that bounce isn't near the recovery it needs to be to show it going longer. In my opinion.
Yeah, all the chips are pulling exactly the same right now for some reason.
Switching over to Tesla.
SPY's on support right here.
I had a feeling. Let's see. See if this is going to come back and bite me in the face. I got a feeling. Off the 21. 424. If it punches through, I'm going to be screwed, but let's see. Tesla is a very unforgiving option, right? So you can go down substantially in the matter of seconds, if not one candle. $700, 750. So Tesla's still in this choppiness. So we'll see what it wants to do here. To 425, if it breaks and holds, I'll have to be out of this.
Probably all the way back to VWAP off that support.
Yeah, you got a small double top at 424.72.
Yeah, I got the 424. Just patiently waiting here for a rejection and a retest. If I can get it, great. If I can't, then like I said, I'm gonna have to wash my face with $750, $800 loss. Only thing I got from me holding me down is that 242. Well, we'll say 245, or sorry, 225.
Apple trying to hold over VWAP on the 1 minute.
I also got a pretty shitty feel buying that market. I was down like 400 when I first went into the trade. But that's the disadvantages of buying market. You've seen it first. Once you buy market, you get a horrible fill, especially when the candle is all accelerated like that.
Apple coming to a double top here.
Apple to a double top. Thank you. Remember, double tops right out of the gate. So probably the first one you find is probably going to be a little bit more sturdy, or I don't want to say predictable, but we got 11 minutes till shift change and jolt opening numbers, or jolt opening numbers, job opening numbers. Jolt jobs.
Yeah, Tesla's having a hard time getting above that 424.72.
Yep, if it struggles, it's what I like to see. If I panicked and sold out at 1,000, I might have missed out on the pullbacks. So, but like I said, it never really gave you that high of day. It kind of just came down at the open, retested. So I'm in a really good position here if I can get this to pull back to that 420.50 and retest that double bottom, make it a triple bottom situation. Now I'm only down 300. Come on, little fella. Don't you stay above VWAP. Don't you stay above VWAP.
Apple breaking that double top.
What is it?
Apple's breaking that double top.
Thank you. Just remember, you're still within that area, right? So I know the bodies are here and that broke, but you still got the wicks to contend with. The 270.33.
We have 270.50 area from yesterday.
270.50.
Yeah, that was a yesterday high area.
There you go. 270.50.
Yeah, 270 is also just a strong level on the 4 hour and the daily.
Yeah, this market feels like it's waiting for 10 o'clock.
Tesla continuing the right move. Don't bounce here. Fall below VWAP. Come on. Johan says neutral in the Zoom chat. Neutral, market neutral. Johan. Johan. There we go. There we go, Tesla. I was going to say, there you go. Down only 150 now. All right. I'm going to get ready to offload 50% if I can get it into the green. 220.50. Because remember, we are diddling around VWAP, right? This is a scalp play. If these bastards hold it or prop it up above VWAP, it's not what I want to see. I don't want to see a bounce this early. I wanted to see it retest that 220 or 420.50. If they bounces sooner than that, then I'm going to be in a pickle. I'm going to be in a pickle.
Apple is now trying to break yesterday's high.
Okay, thank you. These guys continue to look at Apple. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and look at Tesla. Come on, Tesla. Put me to sleep. Pick a direction. Johan called out SLV and
Next
open.
level for Apple is 271.12 if it stays above here.
Thank you. Come on, Tesla. Pull back. There we go, Tesla. There we go, fella. There we go. A little bit more. Squeeze a little bit more out of you. I'll get rid of 5. Nice little recovery there, going down 1,000. Now I'm not going to play around with double bottoms, triple bottoms. I'm going to see if I can squeeze out a little bit more. There you go. One more gone. There you go. One more gone. One more gone. Yeah. Read you like a book. All right, last one. Very nice, very nice. I'll take it. There we go. Scalper's paradise.
Next strong level for Apple is 272.
There we
Big
go.
one.
Apple said, hold my beer.
Pretty much, yep.
Forget your double top. I was going to curse, but forget your double top, B-boy.
Still has to hold here, though. Still has to hold here.
Yeah. I already missed that run, so I'm gonna just sit on my hands on that one. So, or wait for a retest of that 270.50 possibly, but crazy pullback on Tesla. I'm gonna look at calls off the triple bottom. Let me see if I can scalp this really quick. That fill wasn't that bad. Just got to be careful it doesn't rip through. I don't want to give it all back that I just made. Got to be careful here. It's breaking through. Let's see. Still alive. Find that support. There you go. Come on. Get me back up to the 9 and the 21. Got to be careful here. The retest of the 9 and then a rejection. So
2 minutes to shift change.
thank you. Come on.
SPY is literally melting.
SPY's melting.
Yeah, I walked away for 2 minutes, literally. Jeez.
To the downside.
Oh yeah.
AMD and NVIDIA.
So will we say the whole market is pulling back?
If you're going to report it that way, you need to report it as it's melting. It's melting.
Melting like Richard's behind when after he eats Taco Bell.
Wizard
Yep.
of Oz. Okay, Wizard of Oz. Oh my gosh.
How's that for a visual? All right. I don't
Wizard
think
of
Tesla.
Oz.
I don't know if Tesla's got enough power here. Let me see.
Apple's retested
420 is usually pretty strong.
I got 2 different call outs. What was it again?
Just watching 420 on Tesla.
420. Okay.
And Apple's retesting at 270.50.
So you're saying if it drops below 420, I shouldn't be caught in the calls? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think it's a good bounce down.
Did somebody say 420?
420. All right, still alive.
Can we be serious, Bruno? This is a serious show. Come on.
Can we get back to the task at hand, please? 420, 420, 420.
It's better than 67, 67, 67.
Got me tired.
30 seconds to shift change.
Thank you. And Jolt numbers reporting. Oh man. If this is good news or bad news. Watch your behinds. 3 seconds. Watch your behinds. 10 o'clock. Waiting for these numbers to report. And 420 keeps kissing it there, Max. I know it keeps kissing it, but it's got bad breath. Come on. Nice little consolidation. Don't pull below that. Don't pull below that. No.
Anyone got the news?
I got my finger on the trigger. Somebody report out. I'm sure Michael Barish will post it in the chat. Anybody see it? Eyes on
I
it?
don't see it yet.
Still alive. Keep my finger
Well, I'm just
on
gonna
the
take a
trigger.
guess that it must not be good news by the way the market's reacting.
Well, Tesla didn't react to the upside, or I mean, it's still pulling back, but it was, come on, Tesla. There you go, Tesla. Are they digesting the information or? Come on. There you go.
Come on, Tesla.
There you go.
Come on, Tesla. I'm with you.
Come on. Come on, little fella. Come on. This is literally going to be a quick one. I'm going to release it here in a second. Come on. Good call, Max. Good call. Max knows what he's talking about in here. I mean, 25 cents off, so I'll be hitting you up later for those 25 cents, but come on. Come on. Come on. Show me that you love me. I'll take it. I'm not gonna, my finger's getting tired. Finger's getting tired. All right, what we got on Apple? Apple came back, dropped below the 270.50, had a nice little run. Hopefully, these guys capitalized on that. AMD is still to the downside. 2-minute EWO was in full swing continuation at the open. Amazon also to the downside, finally broke free. 2-minute EWO and broke that bottom at I'm sure that was the pre-market level, 243. 243 to the downside, and also 2-minute EWO. So you should have seen the alarm bells ringing. Ford broke out, came back, supported that. Google, same thing, to the downside, but came back up, held true to VWAP, continued its path. IWM had a nice little breakout, but didn't last very long. So market is just crazy today, all over the place. Some are doing well. Nvidia is still the winner. 2-minute EWO continuation from the pre-market should have signaled you never to get out below VWAP, trending in the right direction. That does not mean go buy now, but if you're in it, congratulations. Soxel, same thing, to the downside. You know, when I see these to the downside moves, all I think about is how much I'm gonna love buying shares at a cheaper price. That's what I think in my mind. Make money in either direction. Yep. SPY pulled back hard and broke Tesla.
Gold level on SPY at 692.25.
Thank you. And Tesla still doing Tesla things. Triple bottom situation, 419.75, low of day. Scalper's dream, but it took a little bit longer for that trade to develop. But if right now, if you weren't such a chicken shit like I was, you would be still paying you a little bit more, right? But it's okay if I'm a chicken shit. You can call me that all day long. You know what's not a chicken shit? My account being in green. That's not a chicken shit. Anyway, Ford retesting high of day 1397. If you're a Ford lover and caught that bounce off the 1388, good job. You should be trading it if you're new. All right, I'm gonna stop flipping through all these and just pick one and stick with it. So IWM 692.17, we'll say 692.15-ish on SPY. But you're still not out of the woods just yet. So still to the downside. Andre ES possibly reversing. Yeah, I know Coach normally trades future options, but today we're just going to be on stocks and options. That's great that it's possibly reversing, but I'm not going to switch over to futures right at this moment.
Yes, it's basically SPY though, so same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. But I mean, I'm not looking up ES because then I got to go over to the futures tab, pull it up, blah blah blah. So, but use SPY as your. So
Yeah, I was just saying
it
that's
is,
what Coach does. He looks at SPY, I think.
yeah. If you're using it, possibly reversing. That's not a possible reverse yet. If you're using SPY, but it is definitely a nice bounce off of SPY. It just doesn't mean it's going to reverse all the way back up. So I wouldn't use the word reversing just yet. Just yet. Yep, I'm a chicken shit on Tesla.
No, it hasn't even gotten to the 9 yet.
So you can exploit this channel for all it's worth. And just be careful eventually if it picks a direction outside of that channel. You don't want to get caught up, right? So scalpers, you know what you need to do. Looks like David is done. David's done for right now. So David said he was going to come over here so he doesn't overtrade. He's going to start having conversations with us. Popped a couple of gummies. I can't see his percentage, but all I see is green. So good job, David. Amazon's giving it all back. Yeah. You did all that holiday shopping. I will tell you this though, if Amazon got into the auto industry, started selling cars on Amazon, that might get some people excited. I don't know if they have the ability to do that, but imagine if they did that. They started getting into the prescription drug sector. I don't know if that lasted, but they were in talks with that, trying to get people to buy their medication. It just should be like a one-stop shop. Anything you need, you should be able to buy on Amazon. You want a car delivered, we got you. Or partnership with Carvana or something, you know what I mean? But Carvana ain't gonna give up that. They ain't gonna give up their business model for Amazon.
They don't
I
make
saw Wes
billboards in
doing
Houston.
something with Hyundai, weren't they? Or wasn't
I'm
there
not sure.
something?
I'm not sure. Oh, they do? They do with cars?
Yeah, they
Neil?
had billboards in Houston saying they were going to be selling cars.
Nice. Because I thought about it the other day. I wanted to buy myself an ATV. You know what I mean? I wanted to join the David Club and get myself an ATV, and I couldn't find one. So, and Temu had them, but you know how Temu is. They got those cheap versions, uh, all the way from China, and you have to pay like, or you have to buy a couple of them at a time, and shipping is an arm and a leg. So.
So I never saw the Jolt numbers. Is that because the government shut down or what?
I heard it was a partial. Yeah, they never came out. I heard it was a partial shutdown. That's what I heard. I don't know 100%.
It is a partial shutdown.
Yeah.
They have to pass. And the one part that they're passing is only good for like 2 weeks.
So
Anyway, I would like to give an
yeah.
update if I may.
Sure. I was gonna say real quick, the Jolt's not reporting. Is that something that makes people nervous? Maybe, I don't know, possibly.
Yeah, I would say so. But if we, this morning I talked about how we look at news and what was, sometimes the news comes from prior, and you should be aware of not only what's coming up with the jolts, for example, because that absolutely could affect it, but when you see something that is that will fundamentally move the market, you should be aware of how to play it. And so I mentioned about the manufacturing numbers and how strong they were, and that we had a big jump to positive, which we haven't had in 11 months, and how that would affect the market, particularly in the industrial. So when somebody said the Dow was higher, all-time high, it's like, I'm not surprised at all. However, I said, hey, if this is, manufacturing numbers are based on what the factories, what they have as product, what they surge in orders and everything else that they're producing. Well, if they have a bunch of product, then that product has to be shipped. So I mentioned the transports yesterday and how the transports took off. The other thing I mentioned was on Sunday night, if you were looking at the futures and you were thinking everything's to hell in a handbasket, gold was down amazing amount, silver was down amazing amount, but based on the manufacturing amount figures, silver shouldn't be down at all. That was almost like fake news. Silver, if the economy is growing and bursting, silver should be up. So are you surprised that precious metals are up today? I'm not. Copper's up, silver's up, gold's up, precious metals are up. But the thing that I focused on was the transports. And again, if you looked at UPS, if you looked at FedEx, they've been giving us hints that things are moving more. But I specifically focused on the airlines, because a lot of people do not realize the airlines actually transport a lot of goods, and I believe Bruno could confirm that also. But if you looked at Delta Airlines today, symbol DAL, and if somebody has a chart and want to put it on there, or UAL, United Airlines, those are the two that I was watching, I think you would be in the right place based on yesterday's news. That's it. Thank you.
Yep. And a lot of these guys, they make boatloads of money on their premium services and also logistics. And logistics actually helps with the cost of the fare. So more butts and seats expands the revenue, but those high ticket items, business class, first class, and also logistics and USPS not only utilizes FedEx, but also utilizes AAL and all these other airlines to go to destinations that are possibly harder to serve. So, and also in the Caribbean as well, Caribbean, South America, Europe, all the things, they do definitely use for logistic purposes. So cargo, premium services, and then of course, filling up the rest of the seats. The last time I checked, now things have changed since the last time I checked, but sometimes these flights would only like yield probably $2,000 to $3,000 after everything was paid for. That's jet fuel, payroll, pilots, flight crew, maintenance, all the things. They yield about 2,000 to 3,000 per flight. Now, if you obviously get a flight that's not full to the rim, all the seats filled up, then obviously there are some flights that operate in the red. But overall, that's not how you look at a company's P&L, right? So if they're making money, you're going to have flights that are at some point are not full or during non-peak seasons or peak times where people don't travel. But I can promise you that logistics wise, a big part of that revenue is also logistics below the cargo hull. So they're definitely hauling stuff all day, every day, and that's one of the key drivers as well. So
Put
there
up
you go.
DAL, Delta Airlines.
Delta. Yep.
Yeah,
So it looks like
DAL.
UAL and AAL had really nice moves. DAL as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're in transports. I didn't realize how much until, it was actually many years ago. I didn't realize how much mail, for example, is moved through the airlines. It's like, oh, wow.
Yep, a lot of mail. That's how it all
Yep.
started.
Oh, is it? Okay, very
USPS. Yeah,
interesting.
USPS started back in the day. They used American Airlines as one of their go-to. Well, it started as mail carriers, and then eventually it snowballed into passenger flights. But they were looking for a more efficient way to get mail across the country. They used to use the rail system. And then when they cut the time in half, people can send letters in shorter times. And of course, I won't bore you with all the details, but it was a struggle to get mail from the East Coast to the West Coast. And they used to use bonfires on the ground for navigational aids. So, and then obviously things have changed. When they were using these pilots, they didn't have pressurized cabins, so they had to fly low. And of course, when you fly low, you run into weather conditions, and they lost a lot of pilots, a lot of plane crashes because of it.
Really?
So
That's very interesting.
yeah, but they've come a long way, right? So now we've transport a ton of cargo and ton of mail every day, but that's how it all started. That's how the airline industry started, was with the carrying mail for the US government. So there you go. There's your
And the
fun
airlines
fact.
are still federally subsidized, so even if they're showing like $3,000 profit per flight, there's still the back end from the federal government.
That's true too.
I'm sure.
I don't know why would we still be paying businesses to operate, but they still do.
Yeah, well, they call it the infrastructure, so they don't want the infrastructure to die down because during COVID there was that big bailout. Shit, I shouldn't have said COVID, but anyway, we all know we had a really bad time with that, and the airline industries took a massive hit. So they were funding the payroll to keep everybody as essential employees on the job. And then that only worked for a couple months until they started having furlough people. But yeah, they try to bail them out. And of course, it's not a bailout in the sense of the airline industry was doing poorly. They were doing poorly because of COVID, because of this big C. But they didn't want to cripple the infrastructure, so they offer that money. And of course, there were stipulations in the contract that said that money cannot be used for other purposes like lining people's pockets and things like that. So it had to be strictly used for the infrastructure and for the operational needs of the airline. So there was a big controversy about that. Which I was on the other side of the fence and saw the memos, the internal memos and stuff like that, knowing that the money was being utilized best where it needed to be best and not for pay raises for CEOs and executives and stuff like that. So, but that's just my take.
It's interesting.
But
I can
anyway.
tell you that the airline industry has never actually been a really long-term one to buy and hold play. They've always had problems with mergers and bankruptcies, and oh man, it's a feast and famine. But the point being that when you do see news that would affect a specific industry, it pays to pay attention to it, because just in this one here, reasonably priced stocks, a person could be in, and I mean, it's up $3-4 in profit based on the news. Maybe it's a good time to kind of go over for the membership, the ones that we have offer and the prices.
Yeah. And I also, I was going to roll right into that. So on the screen, you'll see the free Discord. You can join us absolutely free, no strings attached. We're not gonna hunt you down and try to get you to sign up. Of course, if you do want to sign up for a membership, we have starting with our premium. We have a premium yearly 500 promo code, which is given to our live streamers. So $500 is the yearly price. Use promo code Bruno BRUNO at checkout to get 10% off. This will not work for existing members, so just keep that in mind. But if you're out there and you want to try us, you can knock off an additional 10%. We have the 2-year also for $750. Same promo code applies. Bruno at checkout. And of course, we go right to our diamond, which is 5,000 all services, all of our recurring services, which is premium, VIP gold, futures, VIP futures, and crypto as well. So you'll get every kind of avenue to be able to learn how to trade crypto futures, stocks and options, long-term trades, covered calls, cash secured puts, all of those things, which is typically hosted on our VIP Gold breakout sessions. So again, same thing applies here. Bruno, BRUNO, take 10% off, and that should do it. I mean, we have a ton of other services. You can visit us at American Dream Trading. You can use common sense. Go to Google, search that. You'll pull up our website, and then from there you can visit us on our memberships and what we offer in terms of services. So Bucko just posted in the Zoom chat what all the services entail. So premium starts off at your entry level position or entry level membership, then leading up to VIP, then gold complete, which is VIP gold complete. And then we also have our platinum, which our platinum membership, similar to our diamond, which when our diamond goes away, platinum will take over. The only difference is it will not give you access to all of our future services that we might release later on down the road. So if you are a diamond member, you're locked into that. Also, diamond is going to get access to our ADT Academy. Once that's rolled out, platinum will not have access to our new services and also ADT Academy as well. That's going to be a separate entity on its own. All right. So futures VIP, the difference between futures and futures VIP, you'll have the alerts, you'll have the Sunday session. And as a diamond member, you get all of that. And then we have a Sunday training for futures as well as Sunday night around 5 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we have our crypto, which is not talked about much, but we are looking for someone to host our crypto lives. We want to do crypto lives as well. So if you're interested in that and you have experience with crypto, we do have 2 members or 2 moderators that hold down the crypto area and do a really good job at it. We just need somebody to kind of put the face to the product and go out there on the live and host lives and trade crypto live. So if you're interested in that, even if you are a paid member here, that would be a moderator position. And you would be like a live streamer. So we would set you up with that as well. So if you're interested, open up a help desk ticket over on our Discord, let us know. Serious inquiries only. So if you don't have experience with it, if you've never traded crypto, we'd prefer to have somebody with experience. So of course, if you want to join our team, let us know, open up a help desk ticket, and then we'll entertain a conversation with you about it with your experience credentials of what you do with crypto and how you trade and all the things. So, and of course, you'll have the support of Chris and Bucko as well to kind of help you be successful at the streaming of crypto. All right. And that's it for now. We'll talk about it. We talk about it twice a day, probably. If we got about 20-30 minutes until we end the live. But if anybody has any questions out there, feel free to reach out to us. We're pretty quick at getting back to you. So any questions you may have, are you skeptical about it? What's the value of the group? We can jump on a Zoom call and discuss. Results are never guaranteed. Results are also never audited or verified because we just can't do that. We can't be looking at people's P&Ls and stuff like that, asking for broker statements and all the things. But I can tell you the screenshots that are shared are looked at, of course, but we cannot verify your broker statements. We're not asking for that, so don't come for receipts. But unfortunately, we cannot provide that because we are not licensed to do so. So we can't do anything with people's personal accounts. All right. Anybody got anything else? What's the market doing? Is it just like, just chilling? Is it falling asleep or what?
Hey, Bruno, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Why did some options become dailies and others not? Like I was tempted to play AMD, but it was super expensive. I guess they don't have a daily, but then like, Nvidia has it, Apple has it. Was there some sort of is there some threshold or some rhyme or reason to who gets the dailies and who don't?
Yeah, so I know David heard the news, so I'm not 100% sure, but I can get the answer, find out. So I can look to see. I mean, let me see if there's anything, if there was an article recently. But David, if you know, if not, I can do the research and get
Yeah, we
back
can
to
catch up later.
Bear
You can
Cub.
just it's
Yeah,
Bear
yeah.
Cub. You can hit me on
I
Discord.
got you.
AMD has dailies. Did you?
Yeah, but
I
Apple recently got it, so he's just trying to find out the rhyme and reason behind why they
It's
switched it
based on
down.
volume.
Okay.
The amount
Okay.
of volume that is stretched allows the market makers to make more money. If there is demand for it,
Yeah.
they will do it.
I
And
just looked it
so,
up. Yeah.
right. And it's the first test. It actually started last week, where you have certain ones that have 3 times a week, and basically in the Mag 7. So, but not all of them. You go through and look at it, and you'll see. But it's based on the amount of volume that is in those particular stocks.
Got it.
So
Thank you so much.
these are the reasons. Yeah, these are the reasons that I just got. The demand, retail went into intraday, market makers benefit, markets become event driven, and exchanges chased volume. So demand and volume, probably the two biggest ones on that list.
Yep.
It's good to know. You learn something new every day, even if you're a moderator.
And I can tell you that's why you'll look at different ones that don't even sell weeklies. They will only do monthlies. Why? Because they don't have the volume. Volume creates demand. We don't make money if we have no movement, right? That's why we come out with news every day, because it's really there to create movement. Movement creates volatility, and volatility helps us make money. If nothing happens and it just goes sideways, that really isn't beneficial for the economy or the world.
It's also why some have like options at basically like every dollar amount, and you'll see some stocks it's like every $5 that you can do options because they have to consolidate that volume to specific levels to have enough
Right. Well, and
to
that's
be able to
why
make markets.
SPY has every day expiration, right? I mean, these ones are stocks now that have 3 days, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I can tell you this, once they introduce that, they cannot go back, and only more will get added to it if they have the volume.
Hey,
That was
Don.
my next question. Could they pull the rug on it, like, and switch back?
Hold on one second, guys. Don, the browser is blocking the screen. Thank you. Go ahead. Continue.
That was it. Thank you.
No, repeat your question because it was kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that was my next question. Could could it be, dailies every 3 days, whatever, and then all of a sudden it goes backwards and it becomes,
They'll never go backwards. Now that
Got
they're
it.
there, they'll never go backwards. It's kind of like sales tax. They'll start with a penny and then they'll say it's only there for a short time. Have you ever seen a sales tax that goes away?
Or decrease?
Or decrease?
Nope.
No. No, the ones that have it, they have it. They're going to be there forever.
Hey, Bruno.
Yes.
How do I update my trading view indicators to 4.0? I still have 3.1.
It's a good question. So if you go over to TradingView,
right,
what I do is I hover over this.
Right.
And if there's an update, now this will only work if you got the indicators through invite only. If you loaded in like the OG way where you had to do the Pine script and all that stuff, if you have the invite only tab right here, you'll see the invite right here. But if you have it here, there's going to be a little purple circle for like a refresh. You can click that, or you can click the three dots. There's going to be a section that says update this indicator or update available, update this indicator inside of this box. And then you would click that and update. Now, keep in mind, the top indicator, there's ADT coaches indicators, there's ADT volume, and then there's ADT EWO.
Yeah,
The only
they
one that's
all
going to be,
individually.
yeah, the only one that's going to be 4.0 is going to be the one on top, the coaches indicator.
Okay.
All the other
And
ones,
what do
yeah,
you
all
do?
the other ones
Update this script? Is that what it is?
yeah, update the script. Yep.
Gotcha.
And see if it
Perfect. It works.
it refreshed. Yep. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks.
ADT volume is the next one. We had an update for that. I'm just working, make sure that there's no issues with it. So I saw something that I didn't like, so I didn't want to push it last night. But that will be the next one that's going to move to 4.0. But yeah, as we go, we'll try to keep everybody informed, but we know that sometimes things get lost in translation, or emails are not read in detail, or posts are not read in Discord as well. So I'll do my best to try to keep everybody informed, because I know there's always, again, very big ship moving at 3 miles an hour over the ocean. Sometimes it takes a while to move the ship, and then you end up running into an iceberg. So, so if worst case, if that doesn't work, if you don't have the three dots and the update the script, or this purple circle that's going to show up here right now, it doesn't show anything because it's updated, right? But it'll show up a purple circle. Worst case, you just remove them. So you can hit the trash can, XXX, just like I did. Go up to indicators, invite only. You've been part of this invite only through your membership through WAP. So you're going to click each one time. You're not going to click the ADT coach. You're not going to click the little paper. You're not going to click the number. You're going to click right on the title. And just like that, it will put the indicators right back on your screen. And then you go ahead and make the adjustments. I don't like the lines, and I'll flip it to that. And that's the only thing I don't like, is just the lines there. So, and that's it. And this is our indicators in case anybody at home wants to see how cool they look. Got some levels, pre-markets, today high, pre-market high, previous day high, today open. So it does the levels for you. So some people like it. Some people think it's too much. And then, of course, our volume indicator at the bottom. So this is also a neat little feature. You can see total volume in blue. The green is buyers, of course, and the red is sellers. And then the blue is combined both the buyers and sellers to make you one total volume for that day. And then, of course, your ATR is baked in right here on the 1 minute. If I switch to a 2 minute, it automatically adjusts. You could see here on AAL, on average, ATR on 2 minute is 4 cents. As I increase time frames, it changes here. So higher time frames, more likely it's going to be a higher ATR sometimes.
Hey, Bruno?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. On the bottom there, the EWO. How do you get rid of that? The box with the
Want to get
spy?
rid of the box?
Yeah, because on my laptop, I just download, and the laptop is so small, I can't see
Understand.
Yeah.
Yep, I understand, because it has, you're limited to real estate space, right, on your screen. So you can hit the gear icon, and then inside of here, there's going to be a box. You can either uncheck this box. Let me see if it gets. Let me see if it gets.
Hold on, so I got to put zoom on again because I get to. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I gotta go back and add it again. I think there's a box here. Hold on. That's the star. Let me look for it. If somebody gets to it before I do, hold on. Let me see. One tick, 1 minute. No. Show scanner and real time data. Let me see if it's this one. No, it's not that one.
The one at the very top shows star scanner.
I thought it was this one here, but I'll check it. Hold on. Yep, there you go. Well, that's labeled. Oh yeah, okay. It is still a star scanner. Yep, there you go. Thank you. You would hit show star scanner and remove the box.
Show star scanner. Okay.
Goes to show you how many times I removed that thing off of my screen. So there you
This
go.
made me realize I have way too many lines on my screen because I can't even see all those like levels like on Spy. Like all those lines, I don't see them.
Got way too many lines.
Yeah, I got to clean it up.
Yeah, I like it clean, right? That's why that was one of the things I told the guys over there that were working on the scripts, is like too much information might be a little bit too clouded, and people are going to their heads are going to spin. So try to keep it as
Yeah,
clean
that
as
looks
possible.
good.
Yeah, try to keep it as clean as possible. So that's clean right there. So make it simple. Yes, Victoriano, 4.0 is ready to go. So we also have a video in the how-to section. If that video doesn't help, just go refer back to my original video of how to claim the indicators, and then fast forward, because you already claimed them through WAP. Just fast forward to the setup part where I'm inside talking about, going up to indicators, invite only. If that still isn't there, or if they're not loaded in, we just got to look at your profile, right? So a lot of things, technology is always a moving, there's always moving parts to technology. Sometimes people might accidentally remove their trading view name. Sometimes you got to go in, you remove a membership. So if you have futures and you have VIP and your futures doesn't renew, and you cancel out your futures and you stay with stocks and options, that's a change to your account. So if a product drops off your account, then you got to go back in and just reclaim them. Or, I mean, I don't mind people opening up a help desk ticket for it. Just remember, it's within your power to go grab them inside of WAP and through the apps, and then you can open up a ticket. I'll repush it to you, as long as you have your TradingView username, which is in the top left corner. If you have the app, it's going to be this name right here. If it's on the browser, it's going to be on the right-hand side. Look for your profile icon, copy all the things, exactly how it's spelled out. Make sure the spelling is correct, because I've seen that as also an issue. People plug in the wrong one, or they put their Discord name into the claiming of the indicators on WAP. And when you claim it, you should be set to where you'll get the invite only. And of course, as always with technology, restart TradingView, come back and let it refresh, and then go check to see if you have the invite only scripts, which you will have. All right. So that should answer that question. But again, technology is always moving. You just have to just slow it down, pay attention, go back, review all the things. As much as I love help desk tickets, I don't mind answering your questions, but make sure that you have the power to kind of resolve that yourself. But if you need us, we'll be more than glad to help you.
What's
All right.
interesting is there is always two sides to the coin, right? So yesterday you would have been so proud of me, and then today I went to the other side of the coin.
You shit
So
the bed?
yesterday I got to, we're talking about the trading view. Maria helped me get to where I didn't need to open up a ticket, got to the 4.0, have everything on, and I have multiple tabs, so I had to go through every tab to get it done. I was so proud of myself. I was thinking Bruno's going to be proud of me. No ticket, did it himself. The blind guy, the blind old fart.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was constitute as doing it yourself, because, and Johan's probably going to laugh, but you did say that you kind of had Maria's help though, right?
I did have it, but okay, I still did that, okay? But so that was the positive. You'd be proud of me that I did it without having to open a ticket. Today's the other side of the coin. I go and open it up, and they're all back at 3.1. All of them.
Awesome. 3.1. Yeah, you got to do it on each chart. What I would do, and I don't normally I don't even have
Well, I
two
must have to
charts.
save the chart
Yeah.
then also.
Yeah, you got to go up top here and then make sure the autosave is on. And then,
autosave.
yeah,
Okay.
make sure autosave is on. So when you shut it down and come back, it's going to automatically, keep your last settings that you had. So if you drew 1,000,000 lines, it's going to keep the 1,000,000 lines.
Gotcha. Well, that helped, huh?
Yeah, I know. Johan. I know he used to work at an institution in Spain for financial markets, but I don't think he was ever an IT guy at an institution in Spain.
You
so.
think? You think I wasn't an IT guy?
So, but that's what you get with this community, folks. You get a diverse group of people that like to have a little bit of fun, keep it respectful, keep it clean. Well, for the most part, I should say. When the live is off, this place goes off the rails sometimes with the amount of fun, I should say, the amount of fun that. But we kind of reel it back in. But just like, if you want to join a fun community, it's still still a good place to be. You
Trading
come for the
alone is
education.
not fun.
You come for the education, you stay for Richard's bloopers. How about that?
Well, a lot of people don't know that the institution in Spain that Richard worked for was actually a tapas restaurant. So
A tapas, right? That served tacos.
Tapas are so cool. Yeah, that is a treasure.
Gambas al ajillo.
Yeah, I
boy,
had
boy.
tapas. I don't know where the hell I was, but I did have. Where the hell did I go? I can't even remember. All I know, I'm just trying to remember. Where the hell was I? Was I in
So if
Spain?
there's a call out, then please call out that takes precedence. But there's a place, we were on the southern coast of Spain, and we went to a place called Benalmádena, where you can walk on the Mediterranean, just on the beach, or Paseo Maritimo there. And every, if Johan's here. Johan, are you here?
He's here, but he's not going to open up his mic
Oh, okay.
for you.
Every, I'm going to say 20 yards, you would have a little pop-up, kind of like the trucks, but it's a little pop-up place to go, and they serve tapas. And so whenever we had people come, we would take them there to Benalmádena and then do the walkway, and the walkway went on long ways. But we would start with the first one, and we'd order one tapa, and tapas are like little hors d'oeuvres, little bite-sized treats, right? And start out with whatever you have on the first one, and then you go to the next one and you order something different, and you go to the next one and you order something different, and that's your meal. You're going through, and I'm telling you what, you're getting full after 6, 7, 8 the different places. And then I would always, because the people didn't know, I would tell them what they're having, and then they would taste and do it. And then on the last one, I would always go, I would say, okay, this last one, I'm going to order something for us, but I'm not going to tell you what you're eating. So just try it, eat it. Don't be. And of course, you could always see their faces going, "Oh crap, what are we eating?" And then I would joke with them, and I would say it was perro, which is dog, and it wasn't dog, but it was pretty funny to watch them kind of like going, "Oh crap, oh, this doesn't taste that bad. What is it?" It's perro. It's a dog, and then I would tell them. But anyway, then on the way back, you're stuffed. I mean, it's amazing getting these little, hors d'oeuvres, basically sized plates, all different types and stuff. There could be sardines, there could be, just all different things that you would have. But then on the way back, Benalmádena had a commercial building, a 2-story building, and we'd go to the upstairs, and there in that building, they had a crepe restaurant, and we would finish our deal with dessert, and it would be, you pick whatever fruit you wanted and ice cream or other stuff, and it was just amazing. And then you just basically call for a dolly to wheel you out because you're so full. But that's a treat if you ever do there. If you ever want to go to Spain and you're on the southern coast of Spain, we were in a town called Fuengirola. It's between Marbella, which is more known, and Malaga, which is very Spanish. Contact me, and we'll give you the sites to visit and see. But tapas, oh, that is fantastic.
You worked at a travel agency and an institution in Spain as well.
For eating places.
Yeah, I do love me some good tapas. Apple here on a double bottom, by the way. So, but at the 200, very unclear if it's going to bounce here. But if I had to put my money down on it, I probably would say that I wanted to see it bounce here, and also at the bottom of the flat channel that we have, the regression trend channel. So there we go.
Okay, I'm going to have one
Bucko's,
other thing, and that is there in the marketplace, in this business, there can be deception, right?
I just want to call out Bucko's trading GXAI, 40 cents a share, $2 stock. Oh, wow. He's trading stocks? Bucko's trading stocks?
Bucko's trading
Not trading
stocks?
crypto? Oh. Apple continue to pull back here. Be careful here.
So anyway, anybody ever see commercials on, I think it's Prudential with the Rock of Gibraltar? You know how you see the rock in their commercials and stuff, which is symbolizing, oh, strong, strength, incredible, right? You guys ever see that? I'm sure you've seen that, haven't you?
Yeah,
Come on, don't leave me alone. Don't leave me hanging.
I got you. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes. What's the deception? That Rock of Gibraltar is hollow. It's hollow. It's like this strong Rock of Gibraltar is not so strong. I mean, the British kind of hollowed it out and put in cannons there so that they could shoot at ships that were coming into the opening of the Mediterranean Sea. But it's like, what? What?
That's really the perfect analogy then for an insurance company.
Yeah.
It's hollow. There's nothing of substance, and they're going to blow you up.
Yeah, they're just selling perfect business. They just sell paper. That's what they do.
Yep.
Tesla new
By
high
the way,
day.
that's not covered.
Tesla new high a day.
Bounce off 420.
You are correct, Maximundus.
Not that I took it, but
Hey, everyone take a hit.
420.
I
But
took it.
anyway. All right. We're getting to that point, y'all. Getting to that point, winding down the live. Let me check out these comments real quick. I feel like I neglected y'all. Jay-Z Yard, you said your Discord is blocked. If you give me your Discord name, is it Jay-Z Yard? I could do some investigation work. Now, if I will tell you, if you come in looking like a scammer, chances are you could have got blocked. But since you're talking to me, I could take a look to see if it was justified or not. And if it's not justified, then I'll go ahead and find Arlo and let her know that that it was not justified. I'm just kidding, Arlo. I'm just kidding. Yeah, let me know, Jay-Z Yard, if you're still here. That was about 10 minutes ago. If it is Jay-Z Yard, I could look right now and get that resolved for you. But if you came in being weird and all, then chances are you, well, not even having to be weird, but if your account looked scammy, then chances are we keep security around here real tight. So let me know. Let me know.
Hey, Tesla is just below a $2 gap. It's got a gap from 427.30 to 429.30. It would be a gap fill.
right at previous day high and pre-market high too. So that was a good bounce point.
And Jeffrey said Amazon automated taxi. Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, talking about robo taxi, I don't think this is definitely not a Tesla thing. Maybe not, but they were testing it out in Phoenix area. I believe they were Jaguars, but they had like a bunch of them. It was so cool watching them. They had like 1,500 cameras on them and sensors, and I'm sure they probably use like LiDAR or sonar or whatever the hell they use. But this thing was pretty cool. People just hop in on the airport, and the damn thing would drive you to wherever you needed to go. It'd be a little nerve-wracking at first because nobody's at the controls of the wheel. But it actually is pretty cool. Looked pretty reliable, pretty safe, at least right now. But I know in the beginning they were saying that there were some glitches with the software, and but it will actually detect pedestrians and bicycle lanes and oncoming traffic in case it switched lanes and it was on the wrong side of the road. But I thought that was pretty
LiDAR?
cool. It's some kind of technology. I'd have to look into it to see what it is and how. But there's like these rotating cameras. Like there's like it's spinning. So I don't know if it's LiDAR or sonar.
That's the
like
Waymos, right?
What's
the
it called?
Jaguars? The Waymo. Right?
It's
they have the partnership with Jaguar.
Yeah, it's possible. Self-driving, Jaguars, Phoenix. Yeah, Waymo.
That's
Yeah,
Google.
it's Google's. Yep.
Yeah, one of those passed me here in Seattle. I hadn't seen one until just the other day. The first time I saw one, I was like, whoa.
There you go. That's what it looks like, Palm. Damn
Yeah,
thing looks
I've actually seen them. I've actually seen them around a little bit. Not that often, but they use that for Google. Google uses it for mapping.
Yeah, it looks like a damn spaceship.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
In San Francisco, they'll do like a Waymo party where a bunch of people will go to a dead end street and everybody calls a Waymo at once. And then they all just go like traffic jam in the dead end street.
I'm dead.
I love it.
That's hilarious. It was just to watch him kind of like try to get out of a jam.
Just get stuck, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm sure they probably cracked down on and said no more ordering too many cars in the same spot. Oh, look at that. Damn, I was right, Palm. It's safe to be near the LiDAR sensors. Damn, I took a guess on that.
They were using that was they started developing that with trains as a way to kind of try to perfect it because deer would jump out across tracks and stuff. And needless to say, the train's not going to stop for a deer, but they were able to do a lot of product development by putting it on trains. There was a company that actually was publicly traded for that too, and I traded it for a while.
Yeah, I would
We
definitely do this. Yeah.
I was
God.
gonna say we used to install LiDAR systems on the police department vehicles and the government vehicles for the military because you could see through walls and you could see through certain things, I guess. And we used to install it like on the mobile command centers that would travel around the cities. And whenever there was an incident, they would use those. They would have regular cameras, thermal cameras, and then those LiDAR systems on them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They got a lot of blind spots on some of those police vehicles, and they're working with crowds.
Yeah,
That makes
we used to
perfect
have
sense.
the aerial mast that would go up, and well, depending on the size of the vehicle, they go up 25 feet, 40 feet, whatever it was, and so they would add a couple of cameras so that they could have multiple views, and then they would add the lidar, and they would add a thermal, and so you had this big contraption floating in the air on top of a mast, and they could see everything around them.
They do
Bruno, check
something like
out
that
that
down here too. They
double
put it on
bump.
one of those scissor lift things.
What is it?
Oh,
Apple?
yep.
Yeah, sorry. I was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice call out you had, Bruno.
Yeah. Doesn't always
Up
happen, but yeah, when it does, boy.
480.
But you had to kind of had to sit. Remember, I always talk about let it fill the wick, let it fill the wicks, let it find it, let it find its support. So I say let it fill the wick. But there you go. All the way back up to VWAP. I like it. I like it. Good job. Maria was watching it like a hawk. But anyway, who? Maria? Yeah, hell yeah. No,
Bruno, you're
Maria's
give yourself
being
enough credit. Bruno, you
Maria's called that one. Well, she called
Maria's-
that it worked. There you go.
Maria's good too, man.
Yeah, I was just saying
I'll
you
sleep
were
with either
right.
one of you
I
guys.
was confirming your correctness.
Haven't y'all figured out yet that I do not like compliments? Haven't figured it out yet?
All right, well, here's a compliment, Bruno. Can you help me with my trading view indicator?
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with that? Oh, didn't you already get, wait, hold on. Didn't we just add something to yours?
Bruno,
Yeah, we
you
did.
specifically did the video for me yesterday. I read between.
Oh, yes. I'm going to start just shooting videos on the spot because I think things get lost. Some it gets lost in translation when we're texting, when we're typing. So, but yeah. All right. All right, y'all.
Nice one. I wasn't watching Apple, Bruno, but that was good for 480. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Take it for what it's worth and then make your money. I don't know if it's going to bounce here, but we'll see. We'll see if it's going to bounce sooner.
Yeah.
Oh, hey now. Oh my God.
5-second, 2-minute EW. Oh, never mind. I'm on the one. Sorry. Okay, cancel.
Cancel that. Cancel that. Still good though. I mean, well, it's still good. It's, you got a
coming to
couple.
VWAP though.
Yeah, you got a couple of these that are breaking through, which is really good sign. I would say right at where it's at right now, that's 693. Now, if we got nice strong pop over that, and then you got to contend with VWAP, right? So closing the gap, closing the cloud. Cloud is to the downside. So, I mean,
Yeah, you got
it's
VWAP and the 55 layered right there. That's
layered on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10:50 in the morning. We still got some time here. Who knows if this is gonna. But if you want to dip a little toe, but I would wait for it to get above this level and at least past VWAP if you've already missed that bounce. But again, that was hard to predict because you had some sideways downward trend here. And then finally, that was definitely something in the market that something might have been talked about or released, or that's what I think. But anyway,
Tesla is trying to fill that gap I was talking about.
yeah. Give you a little bit of self-driving knowledge, give you a little bit of stocks and options and all the things, and Apple still holding up. There you go.
And tapas.
And tapas and institutions in Spain. All right. Sweet. See what else we got.
Johan had a great call out on open in the chat today. Just saying.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it. I did mention it. Yeah. He loves open. Loves
I
open.
got that on the double bottom. If you look at the daily chart, open.
Daily. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And just when we got rid of open off of the pre-market ideas, we're
It
like,
wakes
this
up again.
thing ain't doing nothing. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it wakes up again. It was
Yeah.
on. It was taking a breather, and we talked
Look
about
at
that
SPY
yesterday.
why I told y'all don't get in that long.
You were saying, Palm?
I would say we talked about it yesterday after being after having as much of a run as it did. Eventually, they just let it alone for a while and let it backslide before they pick it up again. So open was just kind of on a pause, but it also teaches people to trade a stock through all of its different cycles. So when a stock is basically kind of resetting itself a little bit, then there's some really nice, pretty low risk scalping along the way. And then when they bring it back into support, then there's some more volatility because institutions are basically stabbing away at it because they can't just take a 20 million share position all at once, so they drive it up, $2.50 a share. So you got to kind of stab away at it a little bit. People just have to learn to trade through those cycles. You can trade anything. You just gotta get good at trading something. Pardon me.
And look what SPY did.
Yep, I went into puts
See
right
that?
at VWAP.
Yeah.
Played the pullback. I'm leery about going into any sort of calls at this point, but it needed to come back and fill the channel, and it did. So now it's a little bit consolidating. Same thing. SPY they let SPY backslide this morning. It was very clear that there was no really aggressive upside. And then once it got to a certain point, you can see how institutions just kind of started stabbing away at it, accumulating positions, protecting a shelf. And then there's a little bit of reversion, right? That when you get that little bit of reversion, that's telling you that they want to move it away from that support area.
Recording stopped.
Then once they move it away from the support area, you can expect a little bit of consolidation. And then at some point, it's normal for a retest of the low, but it's not necessary.
I think we forgot to record this whole session, but it is what it is. Moderators, remember if I get.
Somebody just hit the. I heard the
No, I
recording
think that
stop.
was the AI recording.
Oh,
it taps out after so many hours.
Oh,
But
okay,
I don't
gotcha.
think we hit the regular record for the replay. So moderators, just remember if I get wrapped up in something, just remind me if I forget. If I forget, or just hit the record button to the cloud, would be great. Thank you.
And
Anyway,
we had a pretty massive upside today or yesterday. So, I mean, did anybody not think that it was going to have some sort of 50% reversion? I mean, it would have been kind of crazy to assume that SPY was just going to go up another, $7, $8 a share, especially when there's been a strong resistance in the 97, 98 range on SPY. So we got reversion, and now we're going to see if we're going to hang in this consolidation. Basically, yesterday was an attempt at pushing it above where it had been trading to see if they could hold that breakout area, but the breakout was too weak. You can see it on the chart right there. For the last 3 days, it tried to hold that breakout area yesterday, and they did a really nice job because there really weren't that many sellers. But once we got into today, clearly there was no interest in holding a weak upside breakout. Weak upside breakouts trap a lot of new traders. So just don't ever assume because yesterday it was just up there and floating around in the clouds that it's not going to give up some real estate. So dropped right back into the middle of the channel, got its 50%, 50 to 55% reversion. And so now you can either play around in the chop or look at the near term channel and figure that out. And that goes for anything that you're trading across the board, whether it's Tesla, anything else. Once we get to we're within 3 minutes of 11 o'clock, we notice that volume starts to settle, and we notice that the movement starts to settle a little bit as well. So unless there's some sort of news catalyst, be very mindful that if you're in something and it's going against you, you may have to sit in it for a little while longer because it takes longer to make those moves now. Still making moves, it just takes longer once we cross the 11 o'clock hour. Volume drops considerably.
Plus, earnings might have a big effect too, right? Because there's still some pretty big earnings this week.
Yeah, those are usually not in the middle of the day though. So
No, I meant
there'll be
like
the
for tomorrow.
anticipation of those
Tomorrow's
later on.
movement might depend on what the earnings are after hours today.
Yeah, but that's not till after hours. So
Right,
there's
right.
people taking positions. You don't want to wait till the end of the day to make your straddles and strangles because the cost of the contracts will actually be unusually high. And for the better part of the day, they're unusually high going in, the day going into earnings. So that if you're not going at least 90 days out, then if you're buying your contracts and really anything, past, I would say, noon, then what you'll notice is that you'll wake up tomorrow morning and that there'll be a significant drop in the cost of your contracts just because the anticipation of earnings holds the contract price higher the day of. So ideally, you're better anticipating earnings a couple days in advance, trying to pick your straddles and strangles. But if you have to do it towards the end of the day, see if you can find some sort of consolidation that's by probably no later than 2 o'clock, because you're still going to be overpaying slightly for contracts. But you're also, and I'm not going to go into this now, because we do this so much and we do it at the end of the day. You're looking for stuff that you think is going to move. If you're looking for the best opportunity for a significant move up or down, it doesn't matter. If you got something that just really doesn't move, all you're going to do is be sitting in two sets of contracts that have basically just gone down in value overnight. One quick thing, I noticed some comments in the chat this morning. When S&P or when SPY was SPY was dropping, there was like one green candle, a little bit of a bounce. If you're not sure as to whether or not that type of a candle is a reversal, you have no business even watching SPY. Number one, new traders should not be touching SPY. Number two, you should definitely not be trading in contracts. And number three, if you can't tell that is not a reversal, you're so far from being able to trade options, and you're very, very new in your trading journey that you need to be looking at shares and small price shares. So there's some sort of forgiveness while you're making decisions that just don't work out well. And you should be making them in paper trading so that you're not just simply burning up your account. So if all those things are kind of in the thought process, man, no, you absolutely have to be in paper trading because you just really haven't figured out anything yet, based on anything that's being said. And you just couldn't be further from being able to trade one of the most volatile things in the market.
Here. True. All right, so I guess we'll finish off this live with just a look at AMD. And we got earnings today on AMD. It's happening. Yes, it is happening tonight. Definitely a drop in AMD down today. We hit almost the bottom. Well, we did hit a bottom of 241.77. So quick overview, just a quick recap of AMD's, what we're looking for or what they're looking for. Doesn't mean that if they get it, that the stock will continue to climb. We know that AMD had a nice little projection or a nice little upside move after released some really, really good news for the company. And they've just been able to maintain their pricing at this level. So, and in this ballpark, right? So we can see going back, and this is on a daily chart, how much of a move it had. Let me see if I can do a 6-month on this thing. Hold on, 6-month. I'm going to turn off the indicators right there. Back in October. Yep, that was most likely. Yep, that was it. So nice little gap up. Some would even say a controlling candle, Maria. Controlling candle. You controlled me. You controlled me. Back in October 6th of the last year, 2025, we see that AMD has been able to sustain itself roughly above the 200 mark. We knew where it came from, where it was trending, where it was kind of fluctuating in between. I don't want to say that it never looked back, but it really never came back to resurface or come back down to these previous levels below the 185, right? Because I have 185 in the middle. But what I'm doing here is just giving you the earnings projections and what they feel or what they think is going to be the results. So the analyst projections and the street consensus, of course, what I like to do when I look at earnings, especially on something that I like to watch, I typically will pull up the past performance to see a side-by-side comparison. And this is just something that you could also do for yourself. As you can see here, third quarter of November of 4th, 2025, third quarter of 2025, there's what they call the non-GAAP financial measures, and then the GAAP and then the non-GAAP. So this is a really cool sheet, and this can be found on AMD's website. I'll give you a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of tidbit information where you can find this. And of course, you could see some of the wins and some of the promising things that they've accomplished for that quarter, third quarter of 2025. And then, of course, the high performance and adaptive computing. I won't read every single thing, but you can see what are some of the things that the company focused on and also some of the large growth opportunities. Now, without looking at this sheet, I could tell you data centers is really big for AMD, right? So the cloud, enterprise, and AI workloads, a lot of the bulk of their money is also made in data centers. So there was some, and you'll see that here shortly. So revenues, it gives you the Q3s, the Q comparison year over year. So 2024 to 2025, 9.2 billion versus 6.8 billion. And of course, it hit a record third quarter revenues of 9.2, 36% year over year. So this is really good stuff. Like, kind of gives you like a snapshot without giving you all that extra fluff. It just gets right to the point. So the GAAP versus the non-GAAP. All right. If you don't know what that means, you can join our free Discord area. We have stock and terms, and this is also in the stock and terms education. I'm pretty sure it is because I'm the one that put it there. We have the gross margin and then the operating income. You can see some growth from 2025 and Q3 in 2024 and a side-by-side comparison of the quarters. And then, of course, your earnings per share diluted, your summary P&L GAAP also gives you your revenues, your gross margin profits, your operating margin, and also your expenses as well. So net income, this is most likely going to be in the millions, if not billions. Sometimes it will give you the disclaimer at the bottom what it is. It depending on the company you're looking at, of course, because you might find these sheets for other companies as well. And it says right here in the millions. So net revenue in data centers, like I told you before, just by looking at it, by knowing AMD, I know where bulk of their money comes, and proof is in the pudding right there. So Q3, 4.3 million in net revenue for data centers. Client and gaming was about roughly 4 million, and then embedded was about 857,000. And then operating income's 283,000. So, and then we can just keep going down this list and looking, just kind of getting the snapshot, because of course this slide or these slides or PowerPoint presentations or PDFs, they'll eventually release one for the next set of earnings, right? For Q4 of 2025, because remember they're reporting in the past. So whatever they've done up until this point is reported in Q4 of 2025. For Q4 of 2025. All right, so you guys get the point here. So you can see, some of the highlights like what do we have? The Threadrippers, the CPUs, their GPUs, CPUs, and then of course our AI chips as well. So yeah, so looking through all of this, we kind of have an idea of where they position themselves again, where their bulk of their money comes from, and now we'll look at what the analyst projection sheets are. So I'm not going to look at it, I'm just going to read it. So revenue steady and above estimates. So 9.6, 9.7 billion projected for Q4 of 2025. Remember that was Q3. So roughly about 25 to 26% year over year growth. So we got one of the boxes checked off. So are they going to project better sales than they did Q4 of last year? And the answer to that is probably yes. And I say probably because we already saw the comparison of last Q3. Now, of course, if Q4 of last year of 2024 was in roughly to the tune of 9 billion, I doubt it. But like I said, anything's possible. But I'm leaning more towards there's going to be a beat of versus last year. And now, if they missed the sales projection, doesn't mean that they can't still beat the previous quarter. So roughly that's 25 to 26% year over year. So the growth is there. So checkbox 1 is checked. EPS estimates around 1.3, $1.03. On average, consensus is about $1.32. Most analysts on the street rate AMD as a buy, strong buy, though some raise mild valuation concerns given the run-up. Option traders are pricing in roughly about 7 to 8% post-earnings expected move. So right out of the gate, and this is also important, and maybe Richard talks about it, he doesn't talk about it, but if I'm anticipating a 7 to 8% move in either direction, of course, but if this one is expected to move 7 to 8%, you can automatically try to figure out where the target price would be just based off of that percentage. Now, of course, some would argue that if the stock has dropped down to, we're at 244, is it 244 from that 7 to 8% from that price or where it finishes off for the day? I probably am going to wait most likely for the end of the day to see where I end up at the close of the day. Because obviously, if I'm playing earnings, I'm not taking trades at the start of the day or in the middle of the day, but I'm going to take my earnings play towards the end of the day where possibly contracts are a little bit more settled down and also the whole day has gone by and I don't want to buy now and then get locked in and then the price drops and the next thing you know I have to recover just where I started from and all the things. So I'm going to wait till the end of the day to take an option play, of course, results not guaranteed and all the things in financial and legal advice. Okay. Not legal advice, not financial advice either. So anyway, 7 to 8% is the target. So 7 to 8% move. It could be roughly in either direction, but 7 to 8%, if it does move up, that's where I'm looking for. If it exceeds that, fantastic. But if I'm getting close to that 7 to 8%, I got to look out, of course, when the market opens. I got to look out for that at market open, see how far up I am. Do I have a little bit more wiggle room to capitalize on? So key segments we already talked about. And if you've been listening in, we already know key segments, data centers, servers, CPUs, and AI accelerators. Okay. So biggest revenue contributor and sentiment driver is CPUs and AI accelerators. Okay. Client and gaming segments is number 2. So expected growth, but less impact than data center and AI. So we're still going to see some growth. Now, of course, Coach talked about this the other day with memory chips and prices going up, and these are all factors, supply, demand, all the things. More supply, less demand, less supply, more demand, price goes up, right? More supply than less demand, price goes down, right? On just anything, whether it's CPU, memory, video cards, et cetera, et cetera. We had the big boom of crypto and everybody was into the mining business. Video cards were going off the shelves. It was hard to find them. It was like you struck gold. A video card that was $1,000 at retail now it ended up being $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000 if you wanted to buy it off of like eBay or some third-party website. Okay, so anyway, I'm going on a little rant there, but anyway, bullish catalyst, AI and data center demand. Okay, so strong demand on AMD's EPYC CPUs. So just think of a CPU, and AI hardware is essential growth story. Many analysts expect the segment to outperform. AI infrastructure spending by hyperscalers continues to support AMD's long-term, or TAM, total addressable market. So analyst optimism, some analysts are expected a beat and a rise quarter with a raise in quarter with potential guidance upgrades for next quarter. So there's checkbox number 2. We got the growth year over year. Do we have the growth to sustain moving forward? These are things you got to look at, right? So if we're going to be at a stalemate or there's no promising future, there's no promising guidance or growth, that might make investors not so tempted to try to drive the price up even further, right? Or want to drive this home. So this is another checkbox we're going to look at, right? So is the growth there? They're saying it is. So potential guide and upgrades. So upgrades is good. If it was a downgrade, it would be negative, right? So that would be red flag or a box or a green flag or a checkbox. HSBC, VN Barron's boosted its price target, citing a genetic AI demand strength relative to competitors. So are they in a competitor space? The answer is AMD is slowly closing the gap. I would say slowly closing the gap. You can say rapidly closing the gap. Who are their competitors? We have NVIDIA. I'm sure there's other Intel, but NVIDIA is probably the next big dog up there, or is the big dog. So that's something that you also got to look at. Are they closing the gap? Are they competitively, can they give them a run for their money, right? So recent stock momentum, AMD rallied into earnings, partly reflecting positions ahead of results and AI story strength. And of course, we talk about the risk and the bearish neutral headwinds, valuation stretch. AMD's valuations price and earnings is premium range with heavy gains year to date and over the last year, could limit upside if numbers only meet expectations. That should be like a little bell going off in your head, right? So if we've already come a long way, I don't want to say the bubble or a cap, but if they don't crush this, the numbers and the guidance, you can see potentially and it could be short term, but you could see the opposite happening, where you can have amazing numbers, you can have great earnings per share, you can have great growth. But if you're at a stalemate in terms of like what the guidance will look like, then you might run into a situation where, and for a brief moment, and the brief moment can last a day, a couple days, until AMD kind of rebounds, right? So it starts to come back down in price. So competitive pressure, and of course I just talked about it. NVIDIA remains dominant. It's amazing how you know that, right? So it's a no-brainer, right? I'm not reinventing the wheel. NVIDIA remains dominant in many AI accelerator segments. AMD must keep pace to leverage its growth story. Ding, 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 right? I just read that to you, and I was already talking about it before, right? I didn't see this up on the screen. I just happen to know that's pretty much just knowing that if they can't close the gap, or if they can't keep the pace or maintain the pace, then is AMD going to turn into a Cinderella story and possibly become one of those $1,000 stocks? Anything's a possibility, but they've come a long way so far, right? Supply and geopolitical exposures, early export restrictions. So like China, the C word, still a factor in sentiment and could be mentioned by managements, right? So these chips, where are they coming from? Are they opening up facilities across the world? Are they relying just heavily on Asia to produce these chips or GPUs? Are they opening up plants in different parts of the world that they don't need to rely? And that's going to be like a no-brainer, right? They're still going to most likely rely on Asia's supply factor, right? So segment variability. So gaming embedded can be lumpy. Strong results in data center may be diluted if other segments are weaker. Okay, so you can have a powerhouse in your data centers, and then other areas might make your business suffer. Okay, so what are investors listening for? Guidance, no brainer. I just talked about it. Any raised outlook could spark rallies. AI hardware traction, especially the MI series accelerators or acceleration revenue and development updates. Any new and exciting technology. These are things you also got to look at. Do they have anything in the pipeline? Oh, look at that. Data center pipeline strength. How deep orders are and customer mix. So if you are just strictly focusing on one sector and you're kind of letting the other sector, that's not going to help you, right? You can have one powerhouse, but if you have all cylinders firing off at really good paces, that's also beneficial. Catalyst watch, forward looking on EBIT margins and CapEx assumptions. That's all Chinese to me. Commentary and competition. So NVIDIA, oh, look at that. Intel, oh, look at that. China export impacts, those three things. Expect them to talk about that as well. I mean, they might not necessarily talk about directly NVIDIA, but they might say competitors. And then market sentiment right now, stocks were up modestly ahead of the earnings with AMD, and this is on a long term, not just a day, not for the day, because AMD was down for the day. But just overall, bigger picture is still modestly up ahead of earnings. AMD outperformed some peers in optimism around data center and AI growth. And then the street remains generally bullish, but cautious on valuation and execution risks. So trading consideration, implied volatility, and options is elevated. It's going to cost you more to get these premiums, to get these contracts. And then suggested traders can expect a large move. Again, the 7 and 8% is still huge. If that is indeed in favor of all the things, it doesn't mean Bruno did not just say go buy calls and hold them forever. But I'm just letting you know because it could swing either way. So it's going to be guidance, it's going to be sales and EPS and how we look, and also the notes afterwards when they talk. Now, historically, AMD kind of pisses me off when they do their guidance and they start talking and they open their mouths. And I've already experienced that before, but we're at a different pace than we were before when we were playing earnings because of this large move that we're now in the 200 range. Again, a different beast. There could be a different look. Maybe there's going to be some positivity towards it in terms of investors. So we shall see. And I'll definitely, I mean, I have a one-on-one later today with someone. Once I'm done with that, I'll probably, if they're on the call right now, we might just stay a little bit just to see what AMD will do. And then I could start the one-on-one afterwards. So if you're on the call, let me know, and the ticket's still open. All right. So last but not least, positioning side of risk management are critical if you're trading around earnings due to potential swings in either directions. When in doubt, straddle it out. If you buy time, expiration, of course, you will have the ability. If one completely goes against you, you have the ability to kind of rebound. If you buy time, if you buy up until Friday, then that might not be enough time for it to kind of bounce back. But you cut the losers if that is the case. If you have more time, then you just kind of let it go. Not financial or investing advice. Bottom line, expectations on AMD, and I'll just shut my mouth here in a second. Q4 earnings are solid. Growth in the top line and moderate EPS beat is widely anticipated. We already talked about that. We know that. Even before reading all of that information, you can tell just by looking at this sheet versus what they did in Q3. You can generally find some kind of consensus that, sales are going to be beat in Q4, or it's going to be larger than it was in Q4 of 2024. And so driven by AI and data center momentum, the key will be guidance and commentary, particularly around AI demand and competitive positioning, valuation and chip supply constraints. We talked about that with China, the C word, are risk factors that traders are watching closely. And that is my recap for you on AMD for earnings. So if you want this sheet here, I can send it to you right now. I will post it for my Zoom users. If you do trade AMD, let me get that for you. Did I just close it out? I just closed it out. Hold on one second. Copy and paste. There you go. All right. Thank you for listening to my AMD rant. And with that being said, LD, you got a hand up?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get well-rounded on everything. I got a few questions on some 2-minute things because I'm missing something on this because it's not sometimes, it's all the time. I'm I'm hitting something wrong.
All right. Well,
So-
let me wrap up. Let me wrap up the call.
Yep,
I think they got
perfect.
more than plenty of information today. And then we'll wrap up the call, wrap up the live stream. We'll shut it down here shortly. Right now, as a matter of fact. So if you're interested in signing up, join us. As you can see, we're not shy with the information. Free Discord just popped up with the QR code. Again, any membership that you purchase, use promo code Bruno, BRUNO at checkout. We have the Diamond Lifetime membership as well for 5,000. Get 10% off of that with promo code Bruno. Yearly membership 500 as well. It is for the first year and for the life of that membership. So renews every year at 500. Get locked in at 500, and then the premium 2 years 750. I know that's moving pretty fast, so I will leave the diamond up there on the screen right now. With that being said, we'll turn it over to Dawn. You have anything before we sign off? Boom, boom, boom. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. All right, everybody. We'll see everybody again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Peace.